This is really hilarious. Anyway, I had a technical glitch. My webcam just kind of like booted out or rebooted itself. So here I am making part two of this recording. So, anyways, if you were if you're missing out on the earlier bit, there's also part one. And if you're on my mailing list, I already sent that out on the mailing list as well. So you can easily catch part one. And if you're here on my channel, it means that you're seeing me on part two of the episode one. Okay, so episode one, I've done this like, a few days ago last week. But because the recording got missing, I'm doing it once and again. So earlier I was just talking about the what. All right. So I given you like different ideas of the things that you want to manifest. So develop your own ideas about not just the car. I gave example about the car, the house. Make the example of it, and everything that you want. All right. This is what I did. I literally to get how do I get all the figures of the things that this is going to cost, because I went to all those places. All right. I fully went into the experience, even the house. Not only did I go to the project, I after going to the project, I went again because I wanted to see it again for another time. But I didn't want to bother them. Basically, if you're trying to manifest, go as often as it need to be so that you can relive the moment and have a very strong impression. And you know what I even did for the house, the dream house that I wanted, right? I actually drove on the expressway. I stopped by the left. I pretended that my car break down, and I put on the hazard lights, opened the trunk, and then I got out of the car, just admire from the expressway that my dream house. So I've been inside the dream house, been in the estate, drove. And when I went there, I went, drove. After I seen the house, spoke to the agent. I said, "Would you allow me to just make a few rounds in the estate and just look around, take some photos, and study the environment?" He was like, "Sure, go ahead." So I took a lot of time to just study and form a mental image for a mental map of this one, because I told myself, this is where I'm going to be living. This is my estate. I can see myself living here. I can see myself waking up here in the morning, looking out the window and looking at the tennis court within the environment, because not many projects actually have a tennis court inside, but this is one of those that do. And I imagine my kids getting ready for school. I imagine like my parents waking up for breakfast, or me forcing my parents to go for exercise right after that. And I can foresee a whole lifestyle taking place. So but I have to also know what is this going to cost. So in this thing here, why? I said the why. Second thing is the what. What do you want to manifest? How much is that going to cost? If you do not know how much it's going to cost, you're not detailed enough. And when I went to the place, I got the financing sheets. I got the payment breakdown. I know what is the deposit, what is the balance to be paid on signing the agreement, what are the balloon installments, and what is the final payment. Likewise, for the education that I wanted for my kids, I went to the websites and got the prospectus. I found out what's the admission fees, what is the tuition fees, if there's going to be like exchange program to other countries, or like other sports and activities, what are these extra costs going to be? So I made it very, very clear in my mind, because I could imagine the possibility that my kids may want to go for some of these programs as well. And then let's say for the house, if I want to install like solar cells so that I wouldn't get like power outage from time to time, or how much is that going to cost? So I get all these prospectus in advance. And let's say for recreation, so let's say now, as you see on my Instagram stories, on my TikTok, I'm doing like table tennis as my main sport. Um, I'm also doing a lot of plyometric training. But if I had, I mean, in my best possible situation, I would also love to be able to play tennis at a air-conditioned indoor tennis court. So I found out how much that's going to cost and where are the places available that have this. And my kids also want me to join for adult gymnastics. So I look at the prospectus, what is the cost, and I actually write down what is my 1 year at recreational budget for all these things, and also to send my kids for competitive table tennis training, um, and for myself to get like a gym membership, and etc. So what are all these costs? I write them down very clearly, and then like for the clothes, I'm not that materialistic. But I do want to get a nice watch. Why? There's an interesting story behind it. For me, like my ex-wife ever had a house party in my house, and one of the friends she invited stole my Tech Heuer watch, and up to this day, I mean, friend of a friend, and everyone was drunk, and there's very little accountability. Still couldn't get it back. So I manifest that when, like, on the first large payment that I get, I'm going to be getting the F1, the Tech Heuer F1 Monaco Monza, no, uh, Tech Heuer Monza Carbon. I'm going to be getting that. It's about like what 17,000, and yeah, I mean, I can visualize myself. I even got the price list. I talked about the discounts and everything. So all this is the amount of detail that you must have, and this is the how much is that going to cost. All right. Now, make it very vivid. The purpose of finding out how all this is going to cost is to make a very vivid image, because in your mind, and what you should be doing is to correlate information. You're correlating all the informations that you have about this whole lifestyle, and, like, what if I had this, what if I had that. For example, you write down all kinds of things that you want to do, but logically you have to figure out, like, how am I going to fit all this into my schedule, or, like, how am I going to make time for all these things, or how am I going to I mean, you can't possibly be saying, oh, I want to do all this, all these activities, like in your best case scenario of your life, because logically you have to have the time and energy to do all these things too. So how are you going to fit them in your schedule? So you are visualizing your ideal weekly schedule, you're visualizing your expenditure, you're visualizing choosing this activity over this activity, and all this is based on that future self. So this is the reason why I asked you to write down the dollars and cents. All right. Let me plug in my power. Okay. So we did the why, we did the what, we did the how, and, like, the next point is where. Where are you now? All right. You should know that. So, for example, like, are you in debt? What is your current income? How much of an income jump do we need to achieve to have this lifestyle? Like, you have to be, like, if you want to go to any place, uh, let's say if it's a Google Maps or something, you need to enter your start location before you can route yourself to the destination. Anything is possible as long as there is a starting point. But if you mess up the starting point, Google cannot guide you in any possible way. So where are you right now? Okay. And the second where is, where are you when you have achieved all of this? Or where would be a scene that indicates that all this is already in your hands? Okay. So where are you that you know that all this is already in your hands, that you've already done all of this, that you have realized this whole manifestation? Okay. You have realized the what. It could be that I am now at an exclusive beach club where only European cars come to, and these are all the import cars only in the car park. We don't see ordinary Japanese makes. There are some, perhaps, like the Honda NSX, but or the Lexus LFA. Those are the only Japanese cars you will find Yeah, maybe you'll find a Nissan GTR, but all the other cars here you'll only be seeing at this exclusive beach club, the AMG GTs, the BMW M8s. You would see the G wagons, the Lamborghinis, the for example the latest uh, Temerario, the Urus, the Ferrari SF Stradale, right? So I see myself in such a beach club, hanging out, and because I've gotten clean of alcohol, I found out it's better for my life. So I'm just having a non-alcoholic drink, but just networking and getting to know, uh, getting a better relationship with some of the top business leaders. I mean, this could be a scene. And as I look at the time on my watch, that's the Tech Heuer Monza Carbon that I always wanted, and I'm glad to be able to see the time on my favorite watch. Other people may not think that this is a nice watch, but to me it is. To me, it's a wonderful watch, and I'm proud that I earned it. And I'm here with all these great people. And for me, I showed up in my dream car, the BMW M760 V12, the last production V12 of BMW ever made. Um, and the clothes that I'm wearing, well, I've never been much of a designer person, so it's not of any special brand, but I'm in a button-up shirt and shorts made by a top local designer in Thailand. And a lot of people have complimented me on my dressing. And in terms of as far as shoes are concerned, I see myself wearing like some CLs, Christian Louboutins, um, and I mean, it's not the most elegant shoe, but then again, for someone who's just gotten some nice inflow of passive income and business income, it's nice to be able to be a bit obnoxious on the outside. Wouldn't you agree? So this is like a little bit of a imagination. I'm just describing what I'm imagining that what my success looks to me. So you should be able to describe what your success looks like when you've achieved all these things. I mean, your dreams could be bigger than mine, could be smaller than mine, doesn't matter. But most important, you have to be true to yourself that this is what you truly want. And this is something that's truly inspirational to you. And finally, when do you plan to do all this by? Okay. What I've learned in terms of timing and like any success, and this is a very important lesson that I need to share with you, because in manifestation it is kind of like farming. There's a season to sow and a season to reap. There's a season to sow and a season to reap, but they do not happen at the same time. They do not happen at the same time. So many people are of an instant gratification mindset, and that never works. Instant gratification is not for people who do this, because, like, one of the things I will share with you about my journey is like, what kind. I left out one important point. Before the when, there's the who. Yes, yes, it's right here. So after the where I'm at, right? Who? Who must you become? Exactly. So it led me back to say this point, anyways, because like you can dream for this or that or whatever, but not just like all these income jump, but to get this income jump, how much of a personality jump, how much of a capability jump do we have to make? So when I manifested for all these things, I even manifested, for example, like even now, I went from an intern to being a management in this startup company, right? But I before this could actually happen, months before that, I actually wrote down that I will be the most important person other than the boss in this company. I'll be the top producer, and I will have more free time. And if I did not have more free time, how would I have the time to be live streaming here? When I was an intern, although I was working remotely, like I had phone calls all the time, and I didn't know how to negotiate my rights, and I was like, virtual office, virtual water boy. It was no fun at all. It was miserable. Hated my life that back then, but I knew it was necessary because I had to gain experiences. And when I visualized, getting, I said I want to become a more patient person. And it's interesting how, like, God taught me patience by, you know, like having a few times when I thought we were so close to success on a certain business deal, only for the timeline to be shifted due to like economic event, or like some kind of veterinary um, reason. There was a pause on export, so it had to shift and to shift and to shift, and my patience was being tested. And I have gotten uh, my mind to be able to readjust to these things, made me more calm, and made me like learn to dig deep into myself and really develop much more strength of character. Because what you'll find is, like, in manifestation, when you sow, like the farmer sows the seeds. You look at any farmer, the calluses on their hands, how rough and tough their hands are. They have been through all this experience until when they reap, they know that it is a given, but they also know that it takes time. Like when I started to try to plant some plants in my house, and I used to cut some trimmings of those plants, and I looked at the trimmings on a daily basis. Are the roots growing yet? Are the leaves, are the new shoots coming out? How come it's not progressing? I look at it like twice a day, every day, and it's not progressing for 2 3 days. But when I abandon it, let's say I go for a business trip, I come back, oh wow, oh my god. Or let's say I didn't even check it for like the weekend, and suddenly the roots grow out that much. So it's like that. So farmers have learned to, once they do the necessary things and they just abandon it, they just know that in due time it will happen. So our manifestation is just like this. Our goals have a gestation. It is not immediate. There is a gestation. It's just like, if we look at I talked about this concept of immaculate conception, of how Jesus was conceived within Mary without a normal impregnation by Joseph, right? Um, but although he was conceived inside, she still had to carry this gestation of like a normal 9 months period before he could be born. And for our manifestation goals, there is a gestation period as well. And as long as you know that what we are carrying, all right, in our minds, there's just as long as the gestation is going on, there will be the result. It is only if you it's only if you fail to hold this in your mind. I mean, if as you sow very hard, right, it'll definitely happen. The only the only way that it will not happen is if you sow something else. Like if we are not progressing, then we're falling behind. Every day, in the view of your bigger picture, morning and night, go through your plan, right? And I do my I have a daily task list that I write out the numbers and I cross out. Lets me know how many things I have done um, ever since I started this manifestation journey. So I've written down over 1,000 tasks, coming on to 1,100. And it gives me a lot of satisfaction that this is how much I've achieved. And this is a good reminder. So every day, with a clear view of my goal, I write down these things. And as long as you're trying your best, you will always sleep well. I never had insomnia ever since, because every day I'm trying my best. Every day when I go to sleep, I know that I've done my best for that day. And I use these things. I strike out a few activities every day, and I know that I'm progressing towards my goal. So this is a reminder. It's just like the evidence of the leaves that grow out of the plant that you're trying to cultivate, or the roots and the size of the stem, all the things that you accomplish, this is evidence that you're moving towards your goal. All right. So I would like to hear from you, and what kind of goal or what kind of thoughts do you have about achieving your goal? So let me know in the comments over here. And I will also make an additional part of the video as a supplement to this is a visualization exercise. The reason why I'm going to do it separate is instead of in here is because I noticed on the replay that my computer microphone, I'm unable to use the microphone from here, my webcam, but it's actually the computer microphone instead. And although I have music playing in the background, I'm just going to test it, because the music has not been recording very well, and it typically chooses my voice over the sound of the music. And if this works out well, then maybe I'll do a guided meditation or visualization in a separate video. But otherwise, I'll just put it up as a recording. So this basically is the end of the this episode one, and I hope this helps you. So if you need more clarification or some ideas, you have my email address is inside of the emails for those of you on my email list. Has at inspire@random.com basically. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I wish you all the best in your manifestation. Do join me for episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, and episode 5. All right, episode 5 is still in the making, but all those other episodes are up. And I do have a school group. A school group is my discussion community. Is my community. I'll turn this away. So this is the community that I have built up, and I just put this post over there. Um, this is like the classroom. The classroom is basically where I organize all the other recordings as well. All right, so you can find all the other recordings over here. And in addition to that, other lessons that are beneficial to you. These are affirmations, some of my favorite ones. And you can gain access to all this stuff in the community. I plan to charge in the future, but for right now, you are like a founding member, and you can use the link and get in for free for a limited time. So see you inside my community. I look forward to approving you, and also to getting your emails and your comments over here. Thank you for joining me on this live stream.